I completely forgot that I was live. Okay. My computer's a little slow right now. Bro, last I checked, it was only like starting soon for like 2 minutes, and now it's been almost 8 minutes. So, oopsie. Yep, I am drawing frames for a thing. This music is not the vibe right now. It's a very nice song, but to this one. Hey, yeah, hi! Dude, I swear, you're always here. I'm honored. Oops. So, what I said last stream about being bad at social media, I still am. I'm trying to get better. I've been working on this pretty much all week. Why is everything breaking? Hello? Ugh. Okay. There we go. That was weird. Honestly, I don't know what possessed me to want to make a silly little TikTok. I think it was mostly just the idea of drawing an OC. So here I am. I also decided I was gonna color this because I guess I wasn't in enough, like, paint already, so. The idea is I'm planning to use the Evangelion audio with Asuka yelling at Rei. And I think it was in the elevator, I'm not sure, it's been a while since I watched Evangelion. And Asuka in this case will be my OC, Euphemia, and Rei will be my friend's OC, Lihua. I think this audio fits them very well because Asuka is accusing Rei of being like a doll, not having any agency and only existing to serve other people. Because of Asuka's personality, she basically screams at Rei and like gets really angry at her. Honestly, most of it is just Asuka going through her own issues and taking it out on Rei. Of course, this is from my very limited or old knowledge of Evangelion. Anyway, so Lihua, she, how do I describe her? Chloe said that she was never meant to be happy. Her closest relationship is probably the one she has with Euphemia. They have like this on and off lovers thing going on, but they haven't actually gotten together and properly talked about their feelings because Euphemia has issues with commitment. Like, she knows that she loves Lihua, but, you know, she doesn't like being tied down like that. It's just not her style. And Lihua, she she's very Rei-coded, I guess. She allows herself to indulge in her own personal, like, wants sometimes, which is how the whole Yuffie Lihua thing happens in the first place. But mostly, she just lives with her job and, like, follows their rules. Of course, this could be completely inaccurate. I haven't talked to Chloe about her in a while. But, so it's like two different forces that want the same thing, but don't know how to, you know, achieve it. Basically, they're both dumb idiots who can't, like, have a normal adult conversation. Honestly, this was very fun. I liked drawing expressions. It's been a while. Also, I had low-key forgotten how to draw Euphemia, so this is a nice reminder. Where did I put it? Here we go. Like, low-key, I got super lazy, and I was like, I'm just gonna draw very specific details. And now I'm, like, facing the consequences later. Oops. So this glove's black. Euphemia, she started out as, like, her original design was just me playing around with, like, fabrics and layers. So it was very different, I felt, than what she ended up becoming. Like, her current design, I leaned a lot into like the fact that she's a businesswoman, which is why it's so sleek like that. The old one is just very like fun, casino-y, and yeah, that is what she's about. But yeah, I like this one better. Of course, it's still very lazy. Like I'm very lazy. Levi comparison, they're like Chloe in general uses very muted colors, so sometimes when I when I'm drawing Chloe's, I have to alter the colors a little bit because I use very saturated colors. I mean, it worked out. If I recall correctly, Liha is actually an Adeptus. Yeah, she's an Adeptus from Liyue who moved to Mondstadt or something. Evangelion shortened is not allowed. What the hell? Oh, no, shut up. I need to rewatch Evangelion. I say that even though I know I'm not gonna do it. But like, you know what? I'm gonna make a palette. Classic harmony value. How do I do this again? Palettes. Oh my gosh, it's been a while. Okay, yeah. Lihua's skin. The capture is a bit slow. I watched the anime, Evangelion anime, like in its entirety one day with a yay. It was a marathon. It felt like a marathon. It was a lot. And honestly, by the end of it, I had absorbed like literally nothing. I got like the gist, but considering the fact that the only Evangelion knowledge is oh, okay. It's complicated, honestly. Props to that guy for trying to summarize it. Like, by the end of that binge, I was so exhausted and confused because the ending is very confusing. And I was like, yay, what the hell did I just watch? It made a bit more sense after I gotten some sleep and after I watched the End of Evangelion movie, which is honestly such a good movie. Like, props to them. They did such a good job. Like, that movie, like, explained everything and added onto it. It was just so... It was a really good movie. Albeit, it is very messed up, which is a pretty good... Yeah. All of Evangelion's kind of... And then, I believe a few years later, they came out with the Evangelion rebuilds, which is like... I don't know what the plot is aside from evil government and evil mecha creatures. I would explain it, but it won't be that good. Let me think. So, like, okay, we open up with Shinji. Shinji himself grows to be such a character, dude. You either love him or you hate him. As you know, I feel like most people just hate him. Yeah, you just hate him. So you see him, and he's, like, alone. There's, like, alarms blaring, right? The whole city is, like, abandoned. And so you're like, whoa, what's going on? And then he's picked up by a woman in a car. Her name is Misato, I believe? Yeah, Misato. So Shinji knows her, and she's like, what do you want? Like, why'd you call me out here? You know, because it's kind of like a city lockdown right now. And Misato's like, I need to get you to this government base that I work at. And Shinji's like, okay. So Shinji hops in the car. So we learn that there's this military program. What was it called again? It was like Sad Shinji's a chair and is his character for me. Yeah, pretty much. It's so complicated. I can't possibly do it justice, but I'll try my best. So like there's this government program that's like I forgot what it's called. Nerve, NERV. That's it. Okay. So Nerve, they say nerve, whatever. It's like a it's a government program that Misato works at. She's like the commander or something, like a girl boss, and they are developing these giant robots called Evangelions to fight angels. So some time ago, whatever, the Nerve higher ups or whatever, they were like, oh my gosh, we got this message that like, at this time we're gonna face these things called angels. They call them angels. There's a lot of heavy Christianity things here. Honestly, personally, I think it's an aesthetic thing. I don't think there's actually any meaning behind it. But yeah, and so they're like, we have to prepare for when these angels touch down on Earth because they're like really powerful and they're gonna fuck us up. So they build these giant robots, and for some weird ass reason, only 12-year-olds, or was it 14? This sounds like me trying to explain Guilty Gear lore to my friends. Yeah, it's a mess, especially when I don't really understand it that well myself. It's good, I promise. It's really good. Shoot. They built these angels, and for some reason, only like 13-year-olds can pilot it. You know what? For sake of doubt, I'm gonna say they're 14. I actually don't remember. I think they're 14. Yeah, so they're 8th graders, American 8th graders. I don't know why. That's just what it is. So we learned that this town, Tokyo, it's called like Tokyo 2 or something. Like the whole city was recreated into this high-tech city that like with a push of a button can like shelter all the buildings, put armor on everything, everyone goes underground, gets in bunkers, stuff like that. So it's like you're living in this emergency shelter. Apparently the old Tokyo was destroyed or something, I don't know. The angels are like super powerful or whatever. So yeah, children in the military, yeah, for real. This whole thing is just child soldiers, which is like, okay. So they called Shinji over because to pilot, not everyone can pilot an Evangelion, because of course not everyone can pilot Evangelion. They need to be like special and can connect with it or whatever the hell. So like originally they had one pilot, 00, Evangelion 00, piloted by Ray, what was her last name? Bro, I have not watched this in a while. Ray Ayanami, maybe? Ray Evangelion. Ray Ayanami. Oh my god, I'm so good. Yeah, Ray Ayanami. She pilots, Zero... what does she pilot? Was it 00 or was it 01? Zero, is that a 02? I don't think it's a 02 reference. Unfortunately, there's just a small part of me that's like, I don't think, anyway. So Ray's gotten injured. The way the Evangelions work is that the pilots bond with him, so it's like whatever pain the Evangelion feels, they feel. So it's like, very early on, you're kind of thinking, wow, are these Evangelions organic? Yeah, they are. So Ray's injured, and Misato's like, hey, we need a pilot. I know you've never done this before, but like, we need someone. And Shinji's like, why do you think I can do it? And Misato's like, I don't know, your dad just wanted you to do it. And Shinji's like, my dad? So it turns out Shinji's a deadbeat dad who abandoned him, basically. His mom's dead, and his dad all but abandoned him and left him in the care of whoever the fuck, and went off to fuck around with his military program. Yeah, his dad, he like, he's a really bad father. Can't believe Evangelion copied a show in 2010s. Yeah, for real. Shame on them, bro. It's shame on them. Anyway, so there's this scene where Shinji's dad is like looking down at like the loading dock at Misato and Shinji. He has like this terrifying ass look on his face. He's a really scary dude. And Shinji's looking up at him and he's like, oh my god. So Shinji has this weird thing where he hates his dad, but he still like wants to prove himself to him. This could be completely wrong, by the way. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. It's been a while. So he's like, I hate my dad, but I'm still gonna do this for him because I want him to see the worth in me, right? I want him to think I'm useful. Shinji has a lot of problems with being, like, a valued member of society, I guess. Anyway, so he's like, fine, fuck you, I'll pilot the freaking robot. So he gets in the robot and he fights this angel, and like, damn, bro, he just got in it and started fighting. Like, props to Shinji, dude. Like, that thing looks hard as hell to pilot, and he just did it. Let's switch this to Levi. Where'd I put it? Yeah, I got so much junk in here. Here we go. A bunch of stuff happens. I believe he passes out. Proving self-worth is always a good way to storytell. Yeah. Except Shinji takes it very, very fucking badly. So, he becomes a pilot. Rei recovers and he becomes closer. So very quickly, you kind of notice that Rei is really freaking weird. She's very quiet, and she's like one of those anime girls, right? Like the very shy ones. But just in general, she's just freaking weird, right? Like, you think she's shy, but personally I just thought she was straight up weird. It makes sense later. So they don't have much of a relationship until eventually we meet Asuka Langley Soryu. Asuka is part Japanese, part German. I don't know why she's part German, she just is. Honestly, I don't care either. I think it's pretty cool. So Asuka, she is the pilot of Evangelion number 202, Shinji's 01. And she kind of joins a little group. So they're a little trio now. Off fighting angels. There's this really cute episode. It's like my favorite one, where there's a robot coming, or not robot, an angel, like, that was gonna drop down. And the way it works is that Shinji and Asuka have to work together to kill this angel. They have to hit both of its cores at the same time. And Misato's like their commander / trainer. She decides the best way to do this is by having them dance. So for a week, they practice to this piece of music. And they practice like synchronization and like working together. Because Asuka and Shinji, like, when they first met, they were very contentious. Like, they did not like each other. Asuka thought he was annoying and weird, and Shinji thought she was, like, overbearing and brash. But, I mean, they worked out in the end, right? They're not dead. They defeated the angels. Now, it gets really bad. This is when it gets really fucked up, and this is when I kind of start to lose it. So, Shinji's dad has his own motive. Shinji's dad has this thing called the Human Instrumentality Project, where, if I recall, so this asshole was so fucked up by his wife's death that he decides, I know, I'm gonna take, like, he takes a human, right, and he's like, the only worth a human has is their thoughts, their consciousness. Their bodies don't matter, right? Like, the thing that makes someone human is their consciousness and thoughts. So that means I can just throw away the body. And as long as their consciousness is around, you know, like, that's like the pure form. Like, the pure form of human thinking and thought, or whatever the hell, is just their body. So he's like, I know. I'm gonna use some catastrophe shit to basically turn everyone into this liquid called LCL. And then LCL is like what is put in the cockpit of the Evangelions, so that the pilots can merge with the Evangelions. So I'm gonna turn everyone into that stuff. It's like, and we're all gonna merge into one being. It's gonna be great. Making human weaponization. Most sane anime death. No, that's horrible. So the reason why he wants everyone to turn into mush is because he wants... What does he want? He was so traumatized by his wife's death that he's like, well, fuck this shit. I just want to be with my wife. And this is like how you understand humans, or I don't fucking know. Bruh, half this shit went over my head. So like, I don't know how to explain this chronologically because it's such a mess. So, Shinji's mom, she's like the best person ever, of course, which is why she dies. And, she's like, there's this theory or something, it's probably true, but there's no explanation or whatever, that Evangelions, this whole time, you're kind of left thinking, what the fuck are Evangelions? Like, are they angels? Because they're real. Like, they can go berserk. They can have wills of their own. But they're also, like, these tools of the pilots. So it's like, okay, what are these things? People think that it's the mother's soul. So Asuka, Rei, Shinji, they all have dead mothers. And there's this mechanic that angels and Evangelions have. Why does it always a mom that dies in it's because it's the human behavior to latch more onto the motherly figure. That's not true. I don't fucking know. So a mechanic in all the fights with angels and Evangelions, whatever, is a thing called a shield. It's like a shield. What is it called? AT field. AT field. I forgot what AT means, but it's like this like energy field that is automatically generated by the robots and aliens. Oh, fun fact, we don't really know what angels are. I'm calling them aliens because I don't know what the hell else they are, but they don't really say what they are. This whole thing is like very vague. Oopsie. Steal that. And these AT fields are basically the reason why Evangelions don't immediately get their asses kicked. So people have theorized that these AT fields are actually like the will of the mother. So what they did is take the dead mother's soul, fuse it with an angel or whatever the fuck, and give it armor. And that's what an Evangelion is. And then they have the mother's love protect the pilot through the AT field. So that's why only these orphaned children can be pilots. I don't know why they have to be children, but they have to be orphans, definitely. Yeah. It's absolutely wacky too, because there's some shit like, bro, I don't know how to explain half of this. Okay, let's ignore what the fuck is this? Yeah, I know, I swear it made more sense when you watch it, but I can't remember any of it. I swear it was really good. You should just watch it, Jesus. Okay, so Evangelion in itself, yes, it's an anime battle royale, but it's also very character driven, I feel. So what I'm gonna do is try my best to explain the characters. So we'll start with Shinji. Shinji is a big fucking loser. That's all I gotta say. He's a loser. He runs. He's a coward. He's a big freaking, like, I don't like Shinji. He's the main character, but he's not meant to be likable, I feel. So while everyone was being all LCL'd and turned into liquid, Shinji connected with his fellow teammates, because, you know, they're all just blobs of human consciousness right now, so, like, we kind of go, the last two episodes is like a drug trip through everyone's mental illnesses. Honestly, absolutely beautiful, but also absolutely freaking insane. I am worried for the author. Apparently the author wrote it when he was in the pits of depression, so, yeah. Oh. Anyway, yeah, so, like, watching Evangelion is like watching, like, peering into the pit of this dude's mind. I think he's fine now. I don't even, is he even alive? Whatever. So, let me think. Shinji, he has problems with dependency. He doesn't want to be alone. Like, he wants to find someone to latch onto and pray that they never let go. To, like, a very toxic degree. Like, he's been abandoned his whole life. His mother died, his dad he went to get milk, I guess, and then came back as this complete jerk. So, he's like a baby. That's what I'm gonna call him. He's like a baby. It's so It's so freaking weird, bro. I'm just gonna leave it there because I'm worried that the more I talk about it, the more I'm gonna get off track and the more it's gonna be inaccurate. Honestly, I have no idea how to explain it. I'm just gonna keep hammering that in because I don't freaking know what I'm doing. Asuka, she's a little tricky. Her mother was very abusive. Her mother was very mentally ill and, like, would always say to Asuka, like, hey, Asuka's like a little kid here. She's like, hey, why don't we, like, die together, right? Like, I love you so much. She, like, smothered her in her suicidal, depressive, toxic love. Wow. Reminds me of Shinji. I don't know if that's intentional. This is just me coming off of my own very limited knowledge. Anyway, so she grew up hating her mother, because it's like, my mom's a freak. Oh, I forgot to do the... But she also still loved her mom. Like, she's a kid. Of course she wants her mother's love. But she still, you know, her mom's kind of not very fun. Glove. Yep, I did that. So, I'm, like, trying to think. Gosh, I'm, like, digging into the pits of my brain right now, bro. I can't remember. Yeah, we're just gonna skip that. I can't remember. This is a very horrible summary. I'm sorry, just watch the freaking show. Because honestly, even if not for the plot, at least for the art, because my god, the way they utilize the medium, like some masterclass shit there. Anyway, Ray. Do I even try, Ray? I'll just watch a show. Hell yeah! That's a great way to get someone to watch a show. Just struggle so much that they feel pity and they'll watch a show. It's an absolute mess. I'm not even gonna talk about Ray because there's some shit about like fucking Lilith and Adam and Eve or I don't fuck. She's like a clone or some shit. I don't fucking know. But yeah, you know what? I think I will also just watch the show again because I didn't save that color, did I? That's dumb. So yeah. Yeah. Okay, one thing I can talk about is, what's his face? Kaworu. The best character in this whole freaking show. So, I believe there were like 14 or 12 angels fated to drop down or whatever. And after a bit, they were like, oh, there's no like big angel coming down to murder us. I wonder what's happening. But they find Kaworu. Kaworu is another dude. He struggled explaining stuff to get people to watch Let's Play the game. Alright, you want to learn some Guilty Gear? Oh my god. Fuck. Right, yeah. Kaworu, he kind of introduces himself, and I believe he becomes a pilot for a little bit. Or is that the rebuild? Well, either way, he becomes Shinji's friend very quickly. And Shinji's like, oh my god, I found someone I can rely on, and he wants to stay with me. They're shipped together. honestly, based, I mean, it doesn't matter in the end because Kaworu fucking dies. There's this scene where, Kaworu reveals himself as an angel, and he's like, Shinji, I love you so much, but, like, I'm fated to destroy the freaking world. So, like, please do something about it. So Shinji has to kill his bestie, which, oof. In the rebuilds, so the rebuilds is, like, a retelling of the story, just a little different. Like, it's just straight up different. Like, the ideas are the same, but the events are different. And personally, I prefer the original, but the rebuilds are very pretty. So, if you really are lacking on material, I would watch them. I did watch them, and I honestly don't remember much. Bro, what was I doing when I was watching this? In the rebuilds, Kaworu becomes a pilot, and Shinji, he's like on the run from Nerv, and he gets this like collar that will blow up or something. And Kaoru, he's like, don't worry, bro, I love you so much. I'm gonna take this collar off of you and put it on myself to show just how much I trust you and love you. Yeah, Kaoru blows up in front of Shinji. The idea is the same in that Kaoru sacrifices himself more or less for Shinji, and that Shinji has to watch his bestie die. But, you know, it's different because whatever. I think that the rebuild is a little more romantic. Actually, if I recall, in the manga, apparently they straight up kiss. I don't know, I haven't read the manga, but like, I'm pretty sure they just straight up kiss. I suggest watching the anime and then watching like a bunch of video essays, because there are some very high quality video essays out there that can do a much better job than I just did, because they are very good at what they do. So yeah, that was a train wreck of a topic. This guy. So yeah, a lot. I'll just say that a lot of it is character based, and a lot of it is exploring these characters, because just the nature of being a pilot of an Evangelion, whatever the hell, and just the nature of it and how it works really opens up the character to the watcher reader. Like, it's just gonna happen, dude. You're just gonna learn. Like, so yeah, that was, bro, 30 minutes of absolute gibberish that had no point in the end. So, let's I'm gonna talk about something else. Okay. I have, oh my god, wait, so when I read comics, I like screenshot my favorite parts so I can look back at them and be like, that was my favorite part, because chances are I'll forget. It was so funny how much I'm talking about DC now. It was so funny how much pre-52 Tim Drake hated Jason. I'm referring to this one specific issue in Tim's Robin run, where Jason, he's doing his whole crime boss thing, right? So he's like recruiting the gangs and being like, hey guys, we're gonna like fuck shit up, right? And so Red Hood's idea is that we're gonna all unite. It's gonna be great, right? We're gonna put everything under control. He can't stop the gangs, but he can control them. Tim is just like, no, you dummy, like, we just have to stop them. And like, Tim, he's like out on the town and he finds Jason doing his whole crime lord thing, and he has like this look of disgust. He's just like, ugh, it's Jason. Oh, I didn't do that, did I? Like, Jason's like, hey Tim, we can work together and we can help put everything under control. And Tim's just like, no, you're stupid and I dislike you. So I recently read, okay, so there's this comic run called Robin, and it's been running for ages, bro. It has stories from all the Robins, so it's like every time a new volume comes out, it's gonna focus on a new Robin or whatever. So currently we're looking at Damian Wayne, because he's a Robin. He's older now. He has a new outfit. Well, the outfit is not new, it's been around for a while, but for me it's new. And I don't know how much I talked about Damian, but he has his own family issues. So he's like, Alfred's dead, by the way, I forgot to mention. That's wild, bro. So he's like, I'm gonna like go on my own, right? I'm gonna go on my own like path-finding experience. And he finds this thing called the Lazarus Challenge or Lazarus Island or whatever the hell. So the Lazarus Pit is this magic green water that Damien's grandpa made, and it can like heal injuries and stuff. And this, just the fact that of this pit existing has caused a lot of like shit. So he finds this thing and he's like, well, I want to face my past, right? I want to learn, like, find who I am, right? Find my identity, woohoo! without any influence from my family. So he kind of just drops off the face of the earth. Like, he tells Bruce and his family that he'll be fine and to just leave him alone, and just leaves. There's this really cute scene where Damien shows off this new weapon he got from Grayson. Like, Grayson got him this custom stick or whatever, and he kind of looks at it and he's like, oh, there's a tracker on here, let me just take that off. So how this works is they're introduced to the League of Lazarus, which, first off, I didn't freaking know there were more than one league. I knew there was the League of Assassins, and I knew there was the League of Shadows, and for some reason I thought they were interchangeable, but apparently they're not. So, shrug. They're just two branches to the Al Ghul family. But there's a third one, the League of Lazarus, run by this lady called Mother Soul. So Damien's just like, I wonder what's going on here, because, like, I thought the League of so apparently the League of Lazarus had broken off from the main league with, like, Ra's al Ghul and Talia and Damien's mom or whatever the hell. So he's like, what's going on here, right? So Mother Soul, she's like, we're here to find the strongest fighters. So on Lazarus Island, Damien learns this the hard way. He fucking dies, bro. She's like, on this island, you can die 3 times. This island has, like, magical life properties or whatever. Oh my god, Chloe! Holy shit, Chloe! Hello, Chloe. It's my best friend, Chloe. Actually, on that note, I will be right back. I need to do something. Okay, I'm back. What? Just when I joined stream, Meanie you've been streaming for almost an hour. How does it feel to have nothing to do, huh? For an hour. I worked my booty off. I've been streaming for an hour? I have not been streaming for an hour, Chloe. I think you need to work on your time skills. It has not been an hour yet. Almost. No, not even close. There's like 10 minutes. More than 10 minutes. Okay? How does it feel to have nothing to do? Great, actually. I got all my homework done, so 10 minutes is nothing. This is a lot of time yeah, round up. You were interrupting my story, Chloe. Oh my god. The audacity. Okay, my hands are wet. What was I saying? I don't know what you were talking about. Oh, I was summarizing a DC DC plot. So if you want to stick around for that, you can. What was I saying? Right. So Mother Soul, hi. She's like, so this island is like magical, right? That was Connor. Oh, hello, Connor. So fighters can die twice. So for the tournament to start, everyone has to die once. And Damien's already done that. So, and then you're allowed to die one more time. And then after that, you'll just be like on one last life. Right? So, first one, you die. Second one, you can die again. Third one, if you die, you die. And you're dead. So that means after you're out for the second round, then you're just like, you can leave now. What am I doing? Oh, I'm drawing. I'm drawing. So we're quickly introduced to this girl named Punchline, who is honestly really pretty. She's like goth. And as I said earlier, that Damien was introduced to the whole death thing early on is because he challenged Punchline, and Punchline fucking ripped his heart out. She just does this, dude. She doesn't look to be that strong of a fighter, but apparently she can just rip hearts out with her bare hands. And I don't know how she does that. Like, she just reaches for him, like the chest, and then next thing you know, she has a heart in her hand, and the person has a hole in their chest, like a clean hole. I don't know how she does that. So yeah, they like fight or something. It's like the whole time Damien's like doing his own investigation, because like this is sus as hell, right? Like, oh frickity frick frack, it's flipped. What happened? Just gonna do that. There we go. I'm not dealing with that. Oh my god. Oh no, it's all flipped. You what? Okay, wait, I got it. Damn it. The rose is on the wrong side. BR. What are you doing, Chloe? I'm gonna... Let me think. Oh, my favorite chapter is very early on. Wait, what? What am I doing? My brother sent a Brazilian flag emoji. Oh. Well, it didn't look like it on the... I'm like getting distracted. Chloe, you're distracting me from my, my work here, actually. You're distracting me from my art. Sorry. What was I... God, what was I saying? Yeah, cry about it. You deserve it, or something. Dude, my pen has been like shorting out all day. Normally I like hit it in my hand and pray it works. Okay. Frick, what was I... God, what was I saying? Right, yeah, okay. So I'm gonna skip to the end here. This whole tournament thing was a ploy to find who the strongest fighter was, so that Mother Soul can make them a vessel for like a demon or something from like hell. She like wants to raise a demon to like fight her son. Fun fact, Mother Soul is Damien's great grandma. And they're all just alive now. Dude, the way my jaw dropped when it was revealed that she was Damien's great grandma, I was like, what the hell? Why is everyone in this family fucking insane? So we have Damien Wayne. Why isn't that erasing? Oh. We have Damien Wayne, his mother, Talia Al Ghul, Talia's father, Raish Al Ghul, or Raz Al Ghul, I don't freaking know. And then we have Raish's mother, Mother Soul. So apparently in the past, his mom like became this like zealot for this demon thing, and Raish, he's just like, Mother, you're freaking insane. You need to get help. And she's just like, no, this demon thing's like really for real, bro. And Raish is just like, you're freaking insane. Like, I'm gonna banish you to this island. I mean, it's a little more than that. She like created a civil war or something, but basically she gets stuck on the island. And so this whole thing was like a plan for centuries, so she could like spawn this demon and then like take over the world or whatever. She's just a zealot, bruh. And so yeah, that's wild. As for the tournament itself, the finalists are Ravager, Rose Wilson, Slade's daughter, who up until this point I've only ever read her being like paired with Jason, so okay. I'm pretty sure she and Jason are straight up dating in the Titans TV show. I don't know, I'm not gonna watch it. So Ravager, Punchline from earlier, because I guess she's very good at ripping hearts out. Damien, because of course. And this guy named Connor Hawk. Hawk with an E at the end. Heh, get it? Hawk and Robin? From the very beginning, we were made aware of Hawk and that he's very dangerous. Like, he's a very strong fighter. He, like, was taken in by the League or something and, like, did... Honestly, I don't know much about Connor. I know of him. I don't know anything about him. Connor... He's, like, the son of Green Arrow or something. Like, Ollie Queen. He's, like, his son or something. I believe at some point he was Green Arrow? I don't freaking know. Yeah, that's that. And he's like really strong or something. I like his outfit because he has like a crop top on. That's just me. There's this very climactic fight between Damien and Hawk. Damien and Hawk are like, they've had bonding moments before. Like, they're very similar. Like, they could hang out and be friends. But of course, competition, they're kind of assholes, so we're gonna fight to the death. Honestly, this whole arc was pretty cool because Damien, his whole thing when he first became Robin is that he had to hold back. Like, he was trained to kill. He was an assassin, dude. Like, and he held himself back because, like, Batman and whatever. But now, knowing that he can kill without any consequence because everyone will just come back to life, he can just kill. Honestly, just considering people straight up died here in this run, there wasn't much gore. Like, I've seen more gore in, like, the most casual, like, DC story than in this one. So that's interesting. Okay, so they're, like, fighting or something. Damien loses or something, but then, Mother Soul's just like, haha, you've fallen into my trap, I'm gonna raise this demon thing now, haha. And Connor is, like, immediately knocked out, because this demon thing's, like, really strong. And so we have, like, this power of friendship moment. This was wild to me, right? Because to me, Damien is, like, this little loner. Like, I know he's grown a lot, but, like, it's still weird to see him, like, actively push and create a team to fight a threat. So he does that. Punchline, Ravager, he brings together the other contestants. Honestly, it's very cute. So they're all fighting this thing. Ravager, like, tries to go for its heart, which, not Ravager, Flatline. Punchline is a different character, for fuck's sake. I really don't know. It bothers me so much. How is she ripping these people's hearts out? She doesn't have any special, like, sharp claws or anything. She's just doing it. I don't get it. Blah blah blah, they defeat the demon or something. We get to see Ra's al Ghul, and he's, like, drawn as this, like, hot dilf, and I don't like it. Because I keep like, I don't need to see Ra's al Ghul as a dilf, bruh. Ew. I saw this TikTok of someone simping for dilf Ra's al Ghul, and I was like, you are a person. That is a take. And yeah, if it was literally anyone else and it wasn't Ra's al Ghul, maybe I would have gone like, hot damn, right? Like DILFs, I'm not really into DILFs, but like I can appreciate one. But the fact that it's freaking Ra's al Ghul, like the psychopath, no. Anyway, a lot of this was focused on Damien's character being able to trust others, Damien getting over or like learning to grieve for Alfred, and also he finds love with Flatline. God, Flatline. Honestly, I already knew that Damien and Punchline get together, but I actually had no idea how. And reading it, I don't really like it that much. It felt forced. It felt very forced. Like they had like a cute banter, I guess. But I couldn't see Damien I couldn't see them being in love with each other. Like the other characters be like, are you guys done flirting? Or like, wow, you guys are like arguing like a couple, haha, and like little sayings like that. But I couldn't see it. I mean, they kiss in the end, it's like, oh, cool, okay. But I can't care for it. It's okay because that's the only media I've read for Flatline, and that's the only one I will read for Flatline. Shrug, I guess. I feel bad for not understanding this. Should I read? I mean, if you want to, I'm not gonna stop you, but I feel like if I wanted someone to read a DC comic, I would say read, I was gonna say DC's, but DC's is so complicated. Have I talked about DC's here? Oh my god. Oh my god. So Deceased is like my most favorite DC issue, like run like ever. Like, you don't understand. I was so captivated the whole time. It's so good. The only downside is that there's so many characters, like a lot. So like, chances are, if you're just starting, I would like wait to read it until after you have a better understanding of like the Bat family, the Kents maybe a few New World gods, ? But yeah, you can really pick and choose. But because I don't care for spoilers here, I'm just gonna talk about it. So Deceased, written by Tom Taylor, illustrated by many people. Tom Taylor is writing the Nightwing stuff, and honestly, bro, like, he's so good. He's so good. So Deceased, spelled D, the letter C, and then the rest of deceased. Get it? It's a zombie AU. They're not actually zombies. So we got this dude, Darkseid, right? He's like the big bad. He's like the Thanos of DC, more or less. I don't know, in my understanding at least. And he's like, his whole shtick, he's like a nerd, I guess. He's like, I'm gonna find the answer to this thing called the anti-life equation, and I'm gonna use it to take over the world, right? Like, every iteration you see Darkseid, he's probably doing that. So, Darkseid ranges from absolutely world-ending to can be defeated in like 2 hours. So he's defeated in 2 hours, and the Justice League are like, well, that's a job well done. We just defeated Darkseid, right? And then they kind of look around and they're like, where's Cyborg? Cyborg's in the Justice League. And we find out that Darkseid actually kidnapped Cyborg. Like, that was the whole reason why he was attacking. So he has Cyborg now. And Cyborg's just like, assholes, the fuck you doing with me? And Darkseid's like, I know that the answer to the anti-life equation is in you, Metal Man, or whatever. And he does a bunch of shenanigans, and he fucks it up so badly. Like, the anti-life equation becomes this virus. It's the zombie virus. It becomes a virus that infects Darkseid, and he's just like, whoa! And he becomes like this mindless zombie. So the anti-life equation is like, it's sentient, right? it is a mathematical equation that is constantly calculating the best way to take over the world. So it's like smart. And so Darkseid goes a little crazy, right? He like rips his face up because it's like, I gotta get this out of me. It doesn't work. He's taken under control of the equation. He kind of flies around. He kills some people. He's on Apocalypse, by the way. He's on his own planet. And then he blows up the planet. But before it blew up, though, Darkseid's minion like sent Cyborg back to Earth. And Cyborg's just like, oh shit. And then he quickly realizes that Cyborg, he himself is the anti-life equation. Like, it is in him. So the moment he lands on Earth, it spreads. It in fact, because Cyborg's a cyborg, it goes on the internet. It's very meta, honestly. So everyone who is using a phone at this exact moment or screen will be infected. They will see the equation, they will get infected. Like the screens are red or whatever, you look at it, it's like, whoa, the anti-life equation's in my brain. That emoji is so cute. Yeah, so like people are getting infected all over the place, right? So we move to Wayne Manor, where Batman, he's in his little bat cave, right? He's like, holy shit, the world is fucked. So he immediately puts an EMP through the house, and he's like Alfred, like Grayson, Tim, are you guys okay? Because like there's a zombie virus. And this part destroyed me, bro. Tim and Grayson are like immediately infected. They didn't stand a chance. Like Bruce goes into the kitchen and they're both already zombies. So yeah, Alfred, they end up killing them with a rifle. And so meanwhile, all this, Damian, he is hanging out in Metropolis with Lois Lane and John Kent. So he's hanging out with his bestie, right? They're really cute and I love them a lot. So, very quickly, Superman realizes what's going on. So he flies straight to his house. And he's like, he shoots all the screens in the house. He's like, don't. And John's just like, dude, what the hell? That's my phone. And Superman's like, well, equation, blah, 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 don't look at it. And so they quickly suit up. And Damian, he's like trying to get in contact with his family, right? So he gets this walkie-talkie that's like supposed to be open at all times so he can contact his dad. But his dad finally enters and he's in, he's like, Damian, I've been infected. Like, Grayson got him. And Tim bit him, I believe. So like, whoop. Oh, it's spread through the screens and also through like, I'm not really sure actually. Like either exposing your blood to an infected person or their blood exposes to you. I don't freaking know. Basically, just don't get injured by it. Don't get scratched. Don't get impaled by them. You know, stuff like that. Yeah, he's like, I'm infected, Damian, and he puts on Mr. Freeze's suit and like purposefully slows down his metabolism so he can have more time to speak. Alfred's standing behind him with like a shotgun, bro. And he's like, Damian, like, blah, 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 here's some information on the virus. You'll be okay, I love you, my son, blah, 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 blah. And then he turns, right, like very slowly, and Alfred, he ends the call and he shoots Bruce. And it's like really sad too because like Alfred in one day has had to kill 3 of his sons. Grayson, Tim, and Bruce. So he lays them all like on the ground, gets in the Batwing and flies away, and he's just like, damn. Gosh, that emoji is just so expressive. I love it. So Damian, he's like, he hears this and he's like, my father's fucking dead. So they're on top of the Daily Planet now. He's with the Kents. And, hold on. Yeah, he's with the Kents. And, it is, he's like really sad. There's this cute ass scene. This is gonna be important later, okay? There's this really cute scene where Damian is sitting down, you know, kind of processing in the morning, and John sits down next to him, and Damian's like, I don't want to talk, and John says, it's okay, I'm just gonna sit next to you so you're not alone. So yeah, that will come back in probably 30 minutes once I'm done explaining everything else. Oh my gosh. So Green Arrow, who's also there. Okay, yeah. So meanwhile, Green Arrow, his wife Dinah Lance, Black Canary, and their bestie Hal Jordan, they're all on a camping trip. So naturally, they don't have any electronics. And Hal, he's like, okay, lovebirds, I'm gonna go like look on my phone for a bit. Yeah, he becomes infected, and because he's a Green Lantern, the equation makes him use his powers to like better fight or whatever. But Black Canary, her power is that she has a really like a supersonic scream, and it's like deadly, dude. It's deadly. So she yells in Hal's face, and he like freaking dies, like he's dead. And so Dinah is just like, holy shit, I just killed my friend. Green Arrow doesn't have powers, by the way. Loser. And then the freaking ring, bro. The ring has the audacity, because when the holder of a ring dies, it immediately goes searching for a new one, and it chooses Dinah. So not only did Dinah kill her bestie, but she also took his weapon. And she's like, oh my god, I can't use this. But of course she's intercepted by Superman, and he's like, no, use it, we're gonna need it. God damn, yeah. So Superman flies all them back to the top of the Daily Planet, which is like their base of operations now, because they're all scattered around, right? So Green Arrow, he's like, well, shit, what do we do, right? Because Batman's like the best of us, right? If it was anyone could have done this, it would have been Batman. Like Batman, you're gonna want to remember this for later. Batman, like, would have like sacrificed his life, you know, like he would do that to save the world instead of just dying to the virus, right? He was upset because like that's such a dumb way to die for Batman. Anyway, so Clark, he's like, okay, we need to get all the survivors. We have to spread the message. So Lois is like, based. She like spreads the word. They go on radios, you know, stuff like that. Try to save as many people as they can. Isn't Jimmy? No, he's not. Okay. So they all kind of. Oh, right. So there's this superhero who I have no idea anything about except for the fact that he was in Justice League Unlimited. His name is Captain Atom. Not to be confused with The Atom, not to be confused with Atom Smasher, but Captain Atom, his powers, he can fly and he can control nuclear energy. So, that's his whole thing. Don't ask me how it works, I don't know. Yes. So, he becomes infected, which is not good because he is the equivalent of a nuclear warhead. So he explodes. And Metropolis is just wiped off the frickin' map. Luckily, Dinah was with them, so she put a Green Lantern shield around everything, and it's alright now. Yeah, so the Daily Planet, the building, was, like, shielded. But Metropolis is just gone now, like, razed to the ground. And so, also Captain Atom's dead, because, you know, he, like, exploded or something. So everyone's just like, well, shit. So they relocate to Superman's Fortress of Solitude in Antarctica or whatever he is. So they collect, like, Hotspot, they have Martian Manhunter, like, everyone from the JLA who's still alive go there. Oh, we also see Barry Allen. Was Wally there? Okay, so we have two Flashes. We have Wally West Flash. The black one. That's the only way I can think of to describe. Wallace West. I'm gonna call him that. Wallace. And we have Barry Allen. So immediately Batman sent out a signal to the Flash and told him, hey, bro, you gotta bunker the heck down because if you get infected, we're literally screwed. Because, you know, he's like super speed, right? He can infect the world so quickly. So Batman's like, I gotta talk to him first. Which, of course, Batman's, hell yeah. So he goes to the thing and it's like, yippee. I believe Lex Luthor is there too. Somehow he survived Metropolis being exploded, because of course he did. So very quickly, all the heroes assemble and they're like, okay, we need to abandon Earth. There's no point in saving it. Like, we're so screwed, right? So they immediately get to work building arcs, like these giant ships that can save like 2 million people, right? So their plan is to obviously look for a cure and try to save as many people as they can, but also, like, actively start working to get everyone the hell off Earth. Yeah, so Lex is kind of doing that. Oh, I forgot to mention. So Damien, he's here. So Alfred drops by in the Batwing, and he's like, Master Wayne, or Master Damien, like, Batman wanted to give this to you, and he gives him this case. So Bruce, when he died, he said that he had something prepared for Damien, and he was hoping to give it to him when he was ready. But unfortunately, I'm gonna die, I'm not gonna be able to see you wear this, blah blah blah. It's a bat suit. So basically, Damien was just given the mantle of Batman. Cause, and it's it's really silly too, because Damien's like 14, dude. Like, he's really short still. I'm honestly surprised the suit fit him, considering it was built for like an adult man, but I guess he thought ahead. Of course he did. So Damien's Batman now. Oh, and then everything goes wrong. So I have to look into this more. I forgot to do this, but Martian Manhunter, he becomes infected, and so he attacks Hotspot. He attacks everyone in the fortress, so it's like it's not safe anymore. And Barry Allen gets infected, which is really bad. So he starts like running around infecting people at like super speed, right? It's like, it's not good. And so Superman, he's like, don't worry guys, I got this. So what he does, this is really hard for him to do, remember, because like Barry's his bestie. Like, they're all besties. So he flies to the opposite side of the Earth and intercepts Barry and basically flies straight through him. Dude, Deceased is gory as heck. So Barry Allen is dead. Superman just straight up blew him to bits. Except, in the process, Superman got infected. Barry, like, exploded, right? And bits of him, like, impaled Superman. Don't ask me how that happened. And so Superman, he flies back to the fortress. He's with his wife and son. And he's like, hey guys, I'm sorry, I won't be able to be there with you, blah, 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 blah. And so he starts flying away. And unfortunately, he succumbs to the equation before he can fully get away. So he starts killing people. And so Wonder Woman, Cyborg is not infected. He's immune to it. Yes, he's the origin, but he's immune to it. So he's still like working to fix everything. He's also feeling a lot of guilt, right? So the heavy hitters, we got Cyborg, we got Dinah, new Green Lantern, like the Green Lantern now. We got Wonder Woman. They're all going out to fight Clark, because like we can't have a zombie Superman running around killing things. If I recall, they succeed. Actually, no, they don't. They don't succeed. They actually fail horribly. Wonder Woman becomes a zombie. Whoopsie. Superman, sensing that like he could be used elsewhere, the equation made him fly into the solar system, go to the sun, and start absorbing the sun's power. There's like this really sick frame where he's like in the freaking sun, just eating it. And so he's just slowly draining the sun. And honestly, this plot point is forgotten for like a good 2 years. But yeah, he's just slowly draining the sun, just because he can. Anyway, once Wonder Woman is infected, they're like, well, we gotta abandon ship. So, oh, Lex is dead. He died when Martian Manhunter attacked everyone. Does it get any... Yeah, it does. Dude, it just gets worse. So, I forgot to mention, but there are 2 main points for refugees. Gotham City and Themyscira, which is like where Wonder Woman is from. So Themyscira, they offer to open themselves up to house refugees. In Gotham, honestly, I love what they do with Harley and in all these DC AUs, because I swear to God, Harley she doesn't die, bruh. She can't die or something, like, So Harley, she's with her new girlfriend Ivy, right? And this is like before everything went to shit, like really badly went to shit. Like, this is when it was first starting. She goes to Joker and she's like, hey babe, we're breaking up because actually I have a hot girlfriend now and you are an abusive asshole. But Joker is infected, so Harley kills him and she's like, whoa, that was weird. So very quickly, Harley and Ivy create their own little sanctuary. in Gotham. Ivy like covers it in like these thick impenetrable vines. Ivy is so OP and I love her. Anyway, they call it like, what did they call it? They call it like the forest or something. And through some convincing, Ivy, I keep like squishing their names together. The thing I like the most about these two is that they can be reasoned with, right? They're not just insane. So yeah, Ivy is just like, okay, fine, I'll let people stay in here as long as they don't fuck up my grass, right? So yeah, that's another main point. So they're evacuating people, blah 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 blah. It works out, honestly. Obviously not everyone can go, but they get a really good amount of survivors, and they also get like the main crew. So like John, Damien, Lois, Alfred, you know, they're all leaving. It's really sad. Oh, Cyborg. Right, so Cyborg stays behind because he's like, I was the cause of all this. I'm not going to let it spread to whatever new world we find. So he stays behind, and he runs into Wonder Woman, and he fights her, and he uses her lasso of truth, and he's like, is there a cure? In Wonder Woman / anti-life equation, she's like, yes, there is a cure. And he's like, what is it? And she's like, it's you, or like, it's in you. And Cyborg's just like, oh my god, I have to tell like the people on the spaceships because like there's a cure. Yeah, no, Wonder Woman rips his head off. So oopsie. Okay, we're gonna jump a little bit. So the original Deceased is a 7-issue. What the fuck? He's a robot. He's fine, I think. So the original Deceased is 7 issues, but because of popularity, it was given more content. So we're gonna go into this content. We're going chronological order, or as much as I can remember. So I'm gonna go straight to Deceased Unkillables because it has Jason in it. So up until this point, we've had no idea where the hell Jason's been. Like sometimes he just isn't in these issues, but he's alive. So Jason, he walks into the Batcave. I believe this is after the Arcs have left. Actually, no, this is a little before the Arcs have left. Yeah, because we see them leaving. Anyway, so he walks into the Batcave and he sees Grayson, Tim, and Bruce just laying on the ground. He's just like, ah, shit. Well, my family's dead. So he buries them, which, little gripe. I don't know how the hell he did that. They're in the Batcave, right? The Batcave has like tiling and flooring, and it's like furnished. But somehow he manages to tear up the tiles to get access to the dirt underneath and just dig a hole. But whatever. As for what he put on the graves, I'll talk about that later, if I remember. So, he gets into the Batmobile because it's the freaking Batmobile. I didn't grab that color. And he's like, well, I gotta find some place to, you know, bunker down, right? Where am I? Oh, on the wrong layer. That's what I am. So he turns on the radio and he hears Lois talking. It's like, hey, we got these arcs. We're about to leave. Like, if you can get here, like, please, and we'll save you, blah, 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 blah. And Jason, he's just like, nah, I'll just stay here, right? Like, he has no reason. He doesn't care. Yeah. Wait, what am I saying? No, I got this completely wrong. Ignore everything I just said. He's in the Batmobile and he's just driving along, you know? He doesn't really have a plan. And then he finds, this orphanage of children. And he goes inside, and all the kids are in. There's just a bunch of kids in there, and he's just like, hello, and they're like, yeah, so, we're just in here, and we don't know what to do. So Jason, because he's amazing, he's just like, you know what? I'll just stay with you guys. You know, I'll train you. Like, we get this absolutely adorable as like family bonding thing. So meanwhile, we'll go to Slade Wilson, Rose Wilson, and like a few other characters like Grundy and stuff like that. Grundy, Cheetah. This one dude I've never seen him in my life, so I'm not even gonna talk about him. A bunch of shenanigans happen, and they also find their way to the orphanage. And so we get this really cute. They spend months here. like Jason, Rose, Slade, Grundy, Cheetah. They spend months there training these children because their goal is to get to the Gotham forest because they're in Gotham. And they want to save as many kids as they can. So they're training them, you know, teaching them how to fight, how to like stuff like that. It's absolutely adorable and I love it. Yeah, and then of course it all goes to shit because everything goes to shit. So Mirror Master, who's infected now, he uses a mirror and he gets into the base. And he infects some people, a bunch of stuff happens. Oh, Lady Shiva's there too. I forgot about that. Lady Shiva. She's like a super strong fighter. Whatever. So everyone's starting to get infected, right? So Jason and the others are all like, okay, let's get to the buses. We have to go now. And so they're starting to drive. It's like absolutely terrifying. And they get very close. But then, you know... wait, wasn't Cass there too? Was Cassandra there? No, I don't think she was. Along the way, we lose Cheetah. Wait, no, they run into Wonder Woman, right? They're about to reach the freaking garden, and then working Wonder Woman drops down on them, and they're just like, oh shit. Like, Wonder Woman very quickly becomes the most annoying and terrifying menace in this whole thing. Like, she just shows up and fucks shit up. Anyway, so, Cheetah, I believe Grundy and the other dude I don't know anything about, they all fight her. They all sacrifice their lives, you know, stuff like that. They don't even get infected. They just straight up die. I believe Slade goes out and fights her and dies. So Slade, he pulls Jason aside. So like this whole time we've been kind of getting hints that Jason and Rose are like, they have a thing for each other. And so Slade, he's like about to like sacrifice his life, right? He's like, Jason, I think you're a good dude, but if you hurt my daughter, I will beat you up from death. And Jason's just like, okay. So yeah, anyway, he goes, fights Wonder Woman, he dies. Lady Shiva also dies. She like says that she loves Cassandra, because like Cassandra's her daughter, by the way. And then she like rips her own heart out, which, girl, you could have done literally anything else. That is one way to kill yourself, I guess. Anyway, they all make it to the garden. They find out that one of the kids there has Shazam powers, so that's sick. Jason reunites with Cassandra. Blah, blah, blah. That's what they've been up to. They'll come back later. Let me think. Yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about in the thing. So, we're gonna jump to like 5 years later. Was it 7? 5? Yeah, 5 years later. So Damien and John are like 18 now, 17. Let me tell you, these 17-year-olds are the most jacked. Like, damn, bro. Anyway, they've already found a new place to live. Earth 2, I think they called it. And they're like, they're chilling, right? Lois Lane is like the leader of the colony or whatever. Anyway, so then one day they get a distress message from Cyborg, like all the way in Earth, and Cyborg, who's still alive. Like the past 5 years, Cyborg has been scrambling together what little amounts of power he had so he can send out this distress signal. So it's like, hey guys, I'm alive and I have something to tell you. So they decide, you know what? It's been a while. Let's see how Earth is doing, right? So we have Ollie, who's managed to be alive this whole time. I don't know why. Ollie, obviously Damien, John, Lois stays, I believe. Dinah, like all the heavy hitters, they go. Yeah, they go to Earth. They find Cyborg, who, of freaking course, is being guarded by freaking Wonder Woman. So she's back again. Like, Wonder Woman gets very annoying very fast. Because, like, I just know the moment she shows up, everything's gonna go bad. Because she's that strong. Anyway, oh, I didn't talk about... Whatever. That's not important. So they get Cyborg... Oh, Cassie Sandsmark is here. Wonder Girl? Well, she's now Wonder Woman, because, you know. blah 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 blah. They get Cyborg. Cyborg's like, there's a cure, and they're like, oh my god, there's a cure. And we kind of sit there for a little bit because, imagine, there's a cure. They could save all of these people, but of course, zombies who were killed as zombies are just dead now. So that means people like Bruce, Tim, Grayson, they can't be saved because they're already dead. So it's like, ooh, that's icky. Anyway. There's a cure, blah 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 blah. They work to find the cure, hooray. I'm like trying to remember. Gosh. It's like, it's fading. I'm like confusing the original 7 issues with the supplementary, or not supplementary, like the second part. With, you know what, I'm just gonna jump to, they find the cure, and there's honestly a pretty cool scene of, oh no. They find the cure, and it's honestly a happy ending. Haha, yeah. Oh wait, real quick before we conclude the 7 issues. Damien, he sneaks out, and Cassie and John join him. Wait a minute. Oh, I got the timeline wrong. Okay, I read these out of order, okay? Okay. I read these out of order, leave me alone. Okay, so this is before the time skip. We're jumping all the way back. This is before the arcs have left. They're still they're still saving refugees. So Damien, they're still kids. They're still kids. I'm really bad at this. Damien, Cassie, and John sneak out because Damien's like, I want to find my mother, Talia al Ghul, and he's like, I know she's alive. So they find her. She's doing perfectly fine. And there's a scene where Kite Man like absolutely destroys himself on the invisible jet, which, okay, okay. Right. They go to the Batcave because Damien wants to see his family, and he finds the tombstones that Jason left ages ago. And as I said earlier, what Jason wrote on the tombstones, for Grayson, he wrote, what's it? Shoot, I have an image on my phone. You know what? I'll pull it up. He just used some wood and like carved on it. It wasn't anything special. But the fact that it was Jason do that. Actually, John, he asked like, wow, who buried them? And Talia, who's with them, and she's like, oh, it's Jason. You can tell from like the language he used. Let me find it. Nope, nope, a bit later. Oh, here we go. Grayson, brother, Nightwing, the one who got to grow up, which, damn. And then we have Tim Drake, friend. I don't know why he wrote friend. Friend, Robin, the best of us. And then for Bruce, he wrote Bruce Wayne, father, mentor, bastard, Batman. So yeah, I just love Jason. Anyway, they reunite with Stephanie Brown. Spoiler. She finds out she also went to the Batcave to see what's up, and she's like, well, since you're Batman, Damien, I'll be Robin. Fun fact, Stephanie was a Robin for like 3 weeks. Tim Drake was like busy with something. So there have been girl Robins. So she's Robin now. It's really funny because she's like taller than Damien. A bunch of shenanigans happen. Stephanie dies, and Talia fucks off to who knows where. So that was weird. Anyway, going back to the time skip bit that I abandoned earlier, they find the cure, and it's like, yippee, everyone, like, let me think. Oh, so Dinah, this bit. So Ollie turns into a zombie, and Dinah kind of loses it because, you know, they're like in love or something. And in her grief, she didn't know there was a cure. She didn't know, not yet. But in her grief, she kind of kills Wonder Woman. Like, they have this sword that they made to fight Clark. It's Wonder Woman's sword with kryptonite on it, and Dinah has it now. And she kind of kills Wonder Woman. which, oopsie. And then later on, she's like, there's a cure, and she's like, oops, I just, yeah, I just killed Wonder Woman. So rip Wonder Woman, I guess. Fun fact. Okay, yeah, so with this cure now, oh, thanks for the follow. They save Superman, so he's all good, right? Hooray! What arm is that? This one. They're doing good. The bats are dead. Oh, we'll talk about this. This is before the cure was found. The whole crew, they're all taking refuge in Ivy's garden. And, John Constantine, because bro is just eternal, I guess. He's like, hey guys, so, fun fact, I looked into, like, the Force or something. He's like a magician, a sorcerer, whatever. He's also no fucks given. This man is a psychopath. He's like, hey guys, so, freaking Trigon, the Lord of Hell, he, like, saw what was going on and decided, I'm gonna take over the world, because, like, I'm not letting all these zombies muck up my thing. So he's kind of gonna attack. And that's not good. So he recruits a small little team. He recruits, Rose, Jason. Rose and Jason are married now, which is really cute. And they kind of go on this world tour to collect ancient artifacts so John Constantine can become the most oddly dressed sorcerer and fight Trigon. It works. Like, it works, except Jason freaking dies. They were getting this staff from, like, Shazam Temple or whatever the hell, and, Rose. So Rose has a power. She has a power. It's not that helpful, but she has it. She can see, like, a few seconds into the future. But, of course, if she can do something about it, that's what matters. But she saw Jason get absolutely bodied by an infected Shazam. And she tries to get him to move, but it doesn't work. And because of her powers, she basically just got to see her husband die twice. So Jason is absolutely, like, his, like, body is, like, bent in half. Because it's, like, the power of, like, Shazam smacking him. And so she kind of holds him as he dies. No, it's really sad because, like, Jason says, like, what's it, like, I'm glad I could spend my second chance with you. Because, you know, Jason, like, died and came back to life and stuff like that. So, yeah, he's dead. It's absolutely insane, too, because Damien gets mad at Constantine because Constantine said that no one will die. And then Damien's like, well, my brother just died. And Constantine's like, well, actually, I said no one will die. I never said, like, someone will die again or some wordplay bullshit like that. That's just Constantine, bro. He's an asshole. And so, yeah. I mean, it worked. Like, Trigon's defeated and, like, yeah, it's really sad, though. Yeah, they find the cure. Pretty much everyone in the Bat family is dead now, except for Damien and Alfred, which is... wow. No, Cass is alive. Right, they, like, kind of forgot about Cass, bro. I guess we're really looking at the Robins, but whatever. Oh, Barbara. Barbara Gordon? She was one of the first to be infected. So, she's been dead a while. Anyway... okay, they find the cure. Hooray! So next, we look at the universe. DC does this thing, like, it's the freaking universe. Right? So, turns out, the anti-life equation has spread through the universe, which is, like, really bad. Also, Thanos is back or something, and Thanos has, like, the power of a yellow lantern ring, which... oh no. So now they're all, like, commissioned by the gods that are like, hey, we're absolutely fucked. We need to do something. So there's this epic scene on New Genesis where they're fighting against Darkseid. Like, John is Superman now. Damien's Batman, you know, they're all fighting and stuff. The only thing I can think of note is when Cyborg defeats an infected Brainiac and basically fuses with Brainiac. So he's, like, super smart now. which is, oh geez. And so Brainiac, he has this silly little habit of taking cities, shrinking them, and putting them in his own little personal collection. So he finds the city from Krypton, the cat, like, and so he's like, oh my god, I know. What if? So he like unshrinks the city, and now we just have a bunch of Kryptonians, like Superman level Kryptonians, going to fight, and it's just like, damn, bruh, that's insane. So like this whole fight is constantly like, the heroes show up, they seem to be doing well, and then more bad guys show up, and it gets worse, and then they combat it with more heroes, and it's just like a constant back and forth of like who has the most power. Anyway, in the end, Damian gets infected, which, god damn it. So Alfred, he's also there for some reason. I don't remember why, but Alfred, he's like holding Damian, and Damian's just like, dude, you have to like keep in control, right? Like you can't like think logically, like please just don't go out and kill everything. And Alfred, in his grief, like kind of loses it. So, fun fact, a bit ago earlier, this dude got infected, Mitsapitalik or whatever his name is, I can't pronounce it, who is like a reality bending imp. And so it's like really bad because he's infected. So this one god or something, I honestly don't know who it is. It's just this dude in a really silly green cloak. He like fights him and he wins, but he also dies in the process. So like this god is now looking for a new vessel, and the new vessel is Alfred. Alfred becomes like a god, or like the vessel for a god. And so it's like, goddamn. Anyway, so now you're kind of like, oh, so that's why Damian told Alfred not to lose it, because he could totally kill everyone here and now. But luckily, Alfred kind of gets it together. He flies to Earth. He brings back a bunch of cures. And like in the end, it worked out. Damian is back to normal, albeit with a few sick new scars. Darkseid is also back to normal. Now this is the weird part. Darkseid joins sides with the Justice League, or whatever's left of it, right? So it's like the enemy of my enemy is my friend, or whatever. So Darkseid becomes a good guy for a little bit. It's wild. Because honestly, he was pretty pissed that, you know, his whole planet was lost or something. I don't know. Anyway, wow, I'm bad at coloring white. So, their whole plan is that they find out that the anti-life equation virus has like a mastermind. The mastermind is this entity, celestial being. I don't remember what it was called, but it's like a big deal, right? So to stop the virus from taking over the universe entirely, they have to defeat this being and hope it sorts itself out. So they create this plan where they're all gonna go into this being, and Damian says that he has a plan to defeat it, and they're like, okay, Damian does that thing that Batman does where he has a plan but he doesn't tell anyone what it is until he actually puts it into action, which, just like his dad, I guess. Anyway, so they go into the big celestial thing. There's like this whole thing of like, they have freaking they have Ares on their side, like the god of war. They like convinced him that like, hey, you know, it's no fun if everyone's dead. So yeah, they have Ares here. So Ares, Darkseid, they work together to like keep the big bad distracted. Well, Superman, John, Dinah, Dinah's honestly such a, like, she's so OP. Oh, my music stopped. Did it? Whatever. They rip a hole open into the giant being, and they kind of throw Cyborg and Damian inside, because Damian needs to be inside the monster or something. And so Cyborg, he's like, okay, so what do you need? And Damian's like, does a bunch of programming or whatever. And Cyborg is just like, whoa, bro, whoa, what you doing? And Damian's like, so because you have the anti-life equation inside of you, that means you also have the life equation. I can do like a bunch of shit there. Some math, I don't fucking know. But Damien basically creates the life equation, which is the antithesis of the anti-life equation. And when these two equations come together, they don't really know what to do. So they just explode. So Damien kicks Cyborg out, and he injects the life equation into himself. So Damien is the life equation now, right? And so Cyborg, John, everyone on comms, they're like, Damien, what are you doing? And Damien's like, I'm saving the world, right? Because like his plan is he's basically become a suicide bomber. And he's just gonna blow it up. And obviously John is just like, no, bro, you can't do that, right? Like, what's the point if you just die? But Damien's just like, I'm sorry, it's too late. Like, I'm already, like, exploding. And so there's, like, this really sad scene where John, Alfred, they kind of go into, they sit next to Damien. They go in and see Damien, who's, like, kind of glowing at this point. And, oh, God. John sits down next to him, and he says that he'll sit next to him and keep him company. It's a callback from the first little thing in Metropolis. And then they just kind of... John says, like, you were the best Batman or something, and Damien just smiles and says, thank you, and then he, like... Oh, before all this, real quick, I'm, like, going out of order. Ollie, he's on comms. He's like, you can't do this, right? Like, this is so insane. And Damien rebuttals. He's like, well, it was you who said 5 years ago that Batman would go out saving the world by self-sacrificing himself or something. So it's kind of like a big, like, smack in the face. Like, it's a, like, God. Anyway. So Damien, he explodes, you know. The whole entity is defeated. John, Alfred, they all get out of there. And so it's like, yeah, we did it. You know, too many people were lost. Oh, it ends with Alfred. Oh my god, no. So Alfred, remember, he's like celestial being now, right? So he has like this inner monologue. So this whole time we've had a narrator who's been like, you know, narrating, but we don't really know who it was until Alfred became that deity. So there's kind of like a big, oh, it's Alfred who's speaking, right? So we get his monologue again, and he says that sometimes he flies to the solar system that Damien created. Because when the thing blew up, it basically was like another big bang, and it created a new solar system. And he says that he flies there so he can, like, see his family, right? Like, let me see. Do I have it on my phone? Yeah, it's like my bats, my sons, my whole universe. And like the last scene is like just a scene of Alfred, his back facing us, looking at like a bat-shaped like star galaxy, right? And it's like he's shrouded in shadow. He's all alone on this desolate planet. So yeah, sad as hell. Like, think about it, dude. He had to kill Tim. He had to kill Grayson. He had to kill Bruce. All of them he's seen as his sons. And then learned that they didn't have to die. And then once he grappled with that, he lost Jason and then lost Damien. And it's just like, oh my god. I mean, it could have gone worse. Right? It could have been worse. that emote is gonna destroy me, bro. So, fun little notes, just random scattered thoughts that I kind of forgot to talk about earlier. The artists in these comics change pretty casually. So, like, sometimes you could be reading it and then suddenly the art style drastically changes. But yeah, for a little bit in this run, the artist changed for like a few pages. And I haven't looked into who the artist was, but let me tell you, they're really good. Like, the original art style, it was fine. It's on the uglier side, but I could deal with it. But the second artist is so... They draw Damien and John so prettily. Like, they look so pretty. Damn, bro. Like, if you see edits of grown-up Damien, of like people simping over grown-up Damien, chances are you will see art from Deceased because he just looks so handsome. Like, I don't. Honestly, the two main Halloween DC AUs are the one I just talked about, Deceased, and DC versus Vampires, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's just vampires. And in both of them, the Bat family are such influential parts. Like, in this one, the whole thing was themed around them and like their struggles. Like, Alfred was like the main character for pretty much all of this. And in DC versus Vampires, the bad guy is Grayson. So I knew it existed, and I never had any intention to read it because I thought it was kind of silly. But then I looked up Grayson in DC versus Vampires and found out he was a bad guy, and I was like, well, I gotta read this now. So Grayson, like, I'm not gonna go into too much depth, but like the status of everyone, I might have already talked about this too, but the status of everyone is that Damien, he turns to a vampire, and honestly, it's really cute. Like, he doesn't grow old or anything. He's still like a teenager. So he's just a little dude. He's a little vampire, and he's like on the good side. He's like helping the humans. And then we have what happens to Cass? I don't remember. Tim. So during this big ambush, when all the vampires kind of reveal themselves, Tim dies like immediately. Like, Nightwing stomps his head in, and he's dead. Jason, he tries to go back for Damien when he saw that Damien was turning. He tries to go back and save his brother, but in the end, he gets like caught by Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is the most annoying force in these AUs. Like, it's always her, and that is the one who's like completely like demolishing everyone. So yeah, he gets caught by Wonder Woman, and Grayson, he's just like, oh my gosh, I can have our brother join my side and we can rule like the world together, right? And Jason's just like, fuck you. So Green Arrow shoots him and he dies. It's so weird. Green Arrow survives like everything. Like, just Batman can't survive, but Green Arrow can. I'm not saying like come on, really? This dude with an, like, bruh. It's weird too because we see Roy. I believe we see Roy in both AUs, and Roy dies. Roy does a little cameo in the zombie one, and he dies like immediately. Like, you got two panels, bro. Green Arrow isn't important. Yeah, I mean, like, he does some cool stuff. Like, they give him a lot to do, but just in general, it's like, okay, all right. What? Oh, anyway. Tim's dead. Barbara, she like tricks Grayson into biting Harley, which kills him. Don't ask. So Grayson's dead, then Barbara becomes a vampire. Did I say zombie? I meant vampire. A bunch of shenanigans happen, so now Barbara. DC versus Vampires, it was fun. I like the idea of Grayson being the main villain. It's just that, you know, it's I prefer Deceased. But like, when I was in the middle of reading Deceased and all of its like issues, I was hooked. Like, during school, you could not pull me away. And then the day I got home and I finished it, I was laying in my bed and I just started crying. Because like, it really is something you just have to read because it's just, it's so good. So yeah, that was the moment Tom Taylor became my favorite writer. And yeah, I was crying like a little baby, bro. I was dude, I am nowhere close to finishing this. I'm like, let's see, I'm gonna color these flowers and let's see. Well, I'm coloring flowers right now. Past K's working on the cape. That. Yep. And then Yep. I had to make like a whole checklist for myself because teehee. This is your fault, Chloe. Lihua is so complicated, bro. I don't know why. I made her very... I didn't simplify her enough. So now I'm just here. This reminds me when I was coloring Sunako. Or not Sunako, Jiu. Like, they're beautiful, but my god. For you, I feel like you do a lot of very large, like... You use a lot of colors. L-O-L. Oh, frick you. You use a lot of colors that are scattered all over the place, so it's like you constantly have to revisit and push stuff around. Jossie's designs are complicated in that there are so many little details that you spend a lot of time just trying to fit them. For me, my designs are very boring and simple because I'm lazy. Yeah, frick you, Chloe. You're lucky I like your OCs. Should probably draw Sunako at some point. She's really pretty. I have thought about making my characters more interesting and like detailed, but then I remember I don't really care. They're fine as they are. Dude, it's so hard coloring white on a... You know what? I'm gonna do that. That. Let's see the damage. It's okay, I'll design your OCs. I mean, they don't really need designs, but if you want to, like, try your hand at it, sure. I focus a lot more on just the practicality in the garment itself than, like, details, which is probably why I'm not that good at designing Genshin characters, because the practicality goes out the window with them. I did. In your own words, how would you describe Lihua? Because I tried a little earlier, I don't know if it... Like her personality, her troubles. It's so hard. Why did I make Euphemia so black and white? Lihua, well, don't worry, Chloe, we got time. Do I? I think I'll push it tonight. Yep. Bit of overflow, but... I tried explaining Evangelion earlier without remembering what Evangelion was about, so that was fun. Let's see. After this one, I have 3 more things to color, and then I can finally start editing. Honestly, I really enjoy editing. Like it's really weird because like it feels like the last thing I would like, but I honestly enjoy it more than actually drawing the thing. Dude, it feels like Friday. I can't do this. I can't go to school tomorrow. Oh, okay. Maybe for next week, I'll rant about Young Justice. Oh, wait. This is a kind of short topic. Roy Harper has been growing to become one of my favorite characters. He's Green Arrow's sidekick, Speedy, but then he developed drug... Oh, she's a spiritual being who's used to be treated as his mantle of prey. You spelled mantle wrong. So she assumed that's just how all humans work. Tries gaining, like, respect by giving it away. I don't know how to explain it. Don't worry, Chloe, it's okay. I also struggled. What's this way? Right, so Roy succumbs to a drug addiction. Not succumbs, Jesus. He develops a drug... Shut up, meathead. Loser. He develops a drug addiction. And Ali, the epitome of parenting, I guess, kicks him out. So he's kind of on his own a little bit, kind of running around, joining teams. He becomes friends with Jason, and at the end of the Outsiders arc, he tells Jason that he's gonna go get rehab because he wants to be better, right? Like, I love him so much. So he goes to this place called the Sanctuary in like the Midwest. I'm thinking like the Kent farm, more or less. The Sanctuary is like it's just a rehab house. Like what? It's just a safe place for superheroes to like recover mentally. So the actual Sanctuary time plot occurs in this Heroes in Crisis. That's the name of the comic. Not to be confused with like regular crises. This is just called Heroes in Crisis. That's just the name of it. I get it because they're in crisis, so they go to therapy to get help, and then yeah. Anyway, what I like about this is that we learn that in the Sanctuary, the heroes that are there do interviews. Like, they're put on camera and like asked questions about like themselves. So this is like a very intimate way to learn more about these characters and their thoughts. Like, I thought, like, it implies that a lot of heroes have been to the Sanctuary before. Like, we have interviews from all of the Robins, we have interviews from like DC characters who haven't been seen in ages, we have interviews from Titans, stuff like that. Oh, I didn't color that. So it's pretty cool. Anyway, so I'm bringing this up because Roy is at the Sanctuary and he fucking dies. So at this point, people, Superman and like a bunch of other leaguers hear that something went down at the Sanctuary, so they go there to investigate, and they find like the field is just like, there's like 5 bodies, dude. And they go inside the house and they see Roy, or Arsenal, that's his name now, Arsenal and Wally West, the Flash, like dead. And they're like, holy shit. Like, everyone was just massacred, right? So we find out through a bunch of time shenanigans, there were 2 Wally Wests, and they fought, and then some stuff happened. And Wally, who was already at the house, recovering from his own thing, he kind of lost control of his powers for a bit, and let out like a giant wave of like speed force shit, and it like killed everyone in the vicinity, including Roy. So Wally takes like his doppelganger's body, or like duplicate's body, and like lays it there, pretends to be dead or something. I don't freaking know. But the only thing that matters right now is that Roy's dead. And that's wild. Oh, I colored that wrong. And he comes back to life somehow? Don't ask me how. I don't freaking know. I read the volumes where he's just back, but I genuinely don't know. But I don't know his current status, but I do know that he's probably alive, question mark? And yeah, so that's wild. It's really interesting to me because I am a J. Roy shipper, even though I know that their relationship mostly stems from New 52 Outlaws, and New 52 Outlaws is kind of shit. But anyway. And like Jason's whole shtick, like Jason died at a time where characters, like main characters dying in comics was like unheard of. So it's like when DC did that, they were like, there's no fucking way, right? So like Jason dying, that's his whole thing. And like, it's very important to him. And then he comes back to life. So you get fan fiction that's like Roy falls in love with like Roy meets Grayson's younger brother, and like then finds out he dies and he's sad. Then Jason comes back and they can be happy together, right? It's really funny how Grayson is almost always in all of these stories because he's like Roy's best friend. Anyway, yeah, so that's normally how it is. But I have yet to see a fic that's like after all of the slow burn and angst of Jason dying and trying to find himself again, I have yet to find a fic where after that resolves and they're all happy together, Roy dies. Because Roy also dies. So it's like, hey, I would like to see how Jason deals with grief like that. So it's really funny to me. So the fact that he, like, okay. In Young Justice, they play around with Roy's character a little bit. So Roy, it's just, there's one Roy Harper. There's one. But in Young Justice, which is a whole different universe, so they can do stuff like this, we find out that the Roy Harper we've known this whole time is actually a clone of the original Speedy / Roy Harper. So, a bunch of don't ask, like, there's a reason why he was a clone and why he was made, stuff like that. I'm not gonna talk about it though, because it's kind of a mess. Maybe in a Young Justice rant. But, so Roy Harper, Red Arrow, he decides, I'm gonna find the original Speedy, and he does. He finds the original Roy, and so to stop confusion, he decides, I'm gonna change my name to Will. So he's Will Harper. So the Red Arrow, the one we've known this whole time, his name is now Will Harper, and we have a new character named Roy Harper, who is Speedy, but now he changed his name to Arsenal, and he's like edgy. So I can make like a T-chart, bro. Hold on. So we have let the things catch up. Roy Harper, Will Harper. So in the original, like, one Roy Harper canon timeline, right? Roy Harper lost his arm in some timelines, not all of them. This is just like things that has happened to Roy. Lost an arm. Has a daughter. Oh my god. Hi.
Let me get my earbuds. Sorry, I just like woke up because I got home and then I forgot that you were on call, so I just went to sleep.
It's okay. I mean, I was about to end anyway after this little rant.
Bye.
Oh, okay.
Here, just text me. I'm too tired to call anyway.
Okay. I forgot to leave the voice call. That's awkward. Oops. What was I saying? Right, romantic with Cheshire. Cheshire is a villain, actually. I did not spell that right. Cheshire. I don't care. Went through angst. Why isn't it loading? Hello? What? Wait. That's weird. Okay. Okay. Romantic with Cheshire went through angst arc and became Arsenal. So the whole Arsenal thing happened in New 52, where he goes by Arsenal and goes with Jason. Romantic with Cheshire, and they had a daughter together. That's been around for a while. And I know in some universes he loses an arm. I don't know which ones. I just know he does. So now here's Young Justice. So original Roy Harper, and then clone Will Harper. So Will has a daughter. Cheshire Yeah. So like this is already like the makings of like Will being the canon Roy, right? But he's not. There's another Roy. So and this Roy, he lost an arm when he was like unconscious and asleep, and he becomes Arsenal. So it's like they took key aspects of Roy Harper and like split it between him and his clone. And it gets even weirder because like Young Justice probably isn't gonna get a season 5, but like if they continue with this, chances are Roy will die. And it's like, which one is gonna die? Because like I doubt it's Will, because Will is so built. I'm saying this like we're gonna get a season 5. I doubt it's Will, because Will is just so... He's been around since, like, the first freaking episode. He has a daughter. He's established, right? Roy just came back. Like, actually, we haven't seen him in a while. Like, my god. He just came back. Like, he's just getting his bearings. And there's another clone. There's a third clone. Jim, but I don't care about Jim. I don't even remember what he does. But he's there too, I guess. And the thing is, he's so unimportant, I don't think they'd kill him. So it's just kind of like interesting to think about, like, if Roy had to die, which one would it be? Because there's 3 of them. Honestly, I really like what they did with the 3 Roys. Like, even though they're all clones of one dude, they have like a brotherly relationship. They're all different ages. Like, biologically, they're obviously very young. But like mentally, like Will, he's like a middle-aged dad, right? He's put some weight on, he stopped being a superhero, you know. He owns a private security company, he's kind of a nerd. Jim, he's about the same age. Roy is like, he's like the same age as Grayson, probably. Yeah, so, shrug! That's just interesting thoughts. Young Justice in general, here I am going, like, wow. Young Justice in general left, like, it has a lot of potential. Like, I'm kind of sad. It introduced Damian Wayne, or at least it showed Talia with a baby that looks suspiciously a lot like Damian Wayne. So it's like, okay. And then it showed hints of Jason being alive and in the League of Assassins, which is such a cool idea. Because, like, we know Jason was in the League of Assassins for a little bit, but we've never gotten, at least for me, I haven't found one. I haven't found a universe where Jason stays with them. Like, Jason's status in Young Justice seems to be similar to his Lost Days status, when he was kind of like a brainless, mindless, empty shell for a little bit. But he's much older, so it's like, was he not pushed into the Lazarus Pit yet? Does the Lazarus Pit even exist in this? Because you can never be sure, you have to see it. Yeah. Of course, it won't matter because we're not getting another season. So, I'll just live with, like, the 2 scenes we have of Jason. The scene where we see his, like, memorial in the Dead Heroes. Because he died during the time skip, which is insane. And we also see a little him, like, not talk during, like, a fever dream someone had. But yeah. Wow, yeah, that... Wait. Thank God. I think that's enough. I just rant about random shit for 2 hours. I need to, like, do stuff. So, I think I'm gonna call it there. Thanks for coming. Thank you, Chloe. I love you, Chloe. You're the best. What? Oh, are you sad I have to leave? Oh, Chloe was the one who made the little pot guy in the corner there. So yeah. That was, maybe next week I'll hang out more. Bye, thank you for coming.